Hi everyone. Today I'm filming my makeup box or makeup selection for the latter half of spring. So all the items in front of me are ones that were in my makeup box that I've been using in April and early parts of May, and I shall go through them with you. And I've got a little bag with extra items in which I'll bring in. So for complexion, if I go start that way, I'm still using my Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer as my main primer. I've been using the It Cosmetics CC cream because it's in my project pan, and a shade adjuster to darken it slightly. This is nearer to my skin tone. It is darker, but I'm so washed out that I do try and put a bit more colour into my skin. So they're the two. That's fair and that is light. I've also got here a random cheek item. This is Pillow Talk. It's in my project pan. It's in medium and it's more like a blush or a blush topper because it's quite dark on me. Then for my powder, I'm still actually using the Laura Mercier translucent powder, but I'll show you where I'm up to. I'm near the end is in sight. I've got a few days left. I've emptied the container into the lid, so I haven't got that much longer to go with that one. For the Boots number 7 Lift and Illuminate, I'm about there, so I'm about halfway. It was only a little used up to about there when I put it in. So I've enjoyed using it. It isn't the most hydrating. I'm not saying it's overly drying, but it's not particularly moisturising. But it is still a lovely foundation. For setting spray, I'm still using the Milani Make It Last, and I will pick another up. I haven't got one. I'll have to go through which one I'm going to use next, but I do have a little left. For cheeks, or for bronzing, I'm now using, as you can see, I've used a bit of this. This is the Milk Makeup bronzing and contour stick in, I think it's in Chocolate Souffle. So, yeah, the only problem I have is the wind-up mechanism has broken. You've got to push it back in, which is somewhat annoying. These sticks never last for long, I think, but that's where we're up to. I'm still working on the Laura Geller. This is in a project pan, I think, Balance and Brighten Porcelain. I've got for an eye base, I'm using this, which is Colour Tattoo from Maybelline, and that's going to that will remain in the project. I'm going to do eyes. I've been using the Morvina palette. I've used all of the colours, several times, and that's where we're up. Not a lot of progress, but I have been using that one. I've also used, on several occasions, the Kiko, and this is the Smart palette, and it's Smart 02. And it's Kiko stuff I find difficult to open, but there you are. I didn't use the cheek product, but I have used the green eyeshadows, and they have been quite lovely. I've used them several times. I've also got use out of this very, very old Bourjois, like an apple green metallic. I've really enjoyed that one. And also a very old, no longer sold Molten Brown makeup. And I would say that's a sage green, and that has had use as well. Along with the Victoria Beckham Eyewear Bottle Green. So that is a stick. And I've used that in the waterline, and it set down really well and did not smudge and didn't need setting with powder. Really, really nice. Now, other items I've been using, I've brought this in. I did have another in the project pan, the main project pan, but this is another one in Champagne from Rodile. I'm using that on top of this, or instead of. I've got the Rowan Disco Eyes. And that's a topper, and it is the original Universal Disco Eye. Loving that. I've broken out this They're Real Magnetic. It's quite a dry formula, so and it's quite old. I got this towards the end of 22. I've only just started using it, and I have had to put some eye drops in, saline drops, to because it's not waterproof a product, it's an ordinary standard product, but to give it so it's less powdery, so I can get more use out of it. But I am enjoying it. It's more of a lengthening than volumizing. I'll just randomly pick it up. I've got this from Eye Eraser. I've used quite a bit of that. You can see I've used about that much. I'm enjoying using that. It's dried out quite a bit, but I use it on top of this, which is this is going to continue in the selection because it is my colour corrector. So I've had quite a bit of use out of that. It's in the shade medium. What I will say, although it seems creamy, when it hits the skin, even though it's very moisturised, it goes to a powder. So it's not particularly good for mature skin, I'm afraid. But so it won't be a repurchase for me. And I'm not really certain why, because even if you've got oily skin, there isn't oil bands around the eye area. You don't get secretion around the eye, so I'm not sure why they've got it so drying. I've got this Hourglass. I only used this a couple of times, and that's where I'm up to. There, it's a lovely finishing powder. I've got this lipstick, which is their Gloss Bomb from Fenty, and it's in, I don't know if it's going to show. It probably won't. I think it's Baking Cake or something like that. It's the palest one. And I've had made quite a bit of a dent, because if I pull it down, retract it down, that's where it is. So I've used it quite a lot, really enjoyed it. What I will say about the formula is it's long lasting, it's creamy, but as it dries away from the lips are left very dry, feeling extremely dry. So that's something just to be noted, but I do like the formula and I do take it with me, but it does last quite a long time. Then I've got a Ciate product that's in my Project Pan. It's a lip gloss that's staying in. I will be selecting new lipsticks. Then I've got from, this isn't Lipstick Queen, this is my Project Pan lipstick from Maybelline, and I'll be doing my Project Pan very soon. I've got 3 lip liners that I'm working on, and I have had quite a lot of use in the last 6 weeks. I've probably dropped them down by around 1/3 of the size. They're at about 1/3 of a size bigger again. I've got my little inner eye or inner eyeliner, and that's near the end of its life, so I expect that to be finished imminently. I've got this Dior white base for my lashes. I don't rate it at all, it doesn't do anything. I've got Blowout, which is from Umar. It is a gel with a brush. It's getting quite dry, so I'm going to be replacing this soon. But I have really enjoyed using it. The wand is a bit scratchy, is all I'm going to say. And from Surratt, I've got the eye pencil refillable in blonde. I've got a tiny bit left. So it is refillable. You just take that art part, and you can buy these from Space NK. But I'm going to be using another one, I think, when that runs out. I've got 2 eyeliners. This one is in my Project Pan in brown, and this is the black. I'm using both. This is in my Project Pan. I've got a MAC contour. I have a Milk contour. Again, in a stick. They just don't work for me. I don't keep my products in hot conditions. I just don't understand it. But I don't like sticks because they just don't last. I think because I use them every day or high frequency, you know, they soon stop working. This is my Tom Ford Terror bronzer. Now, I don't know whether this bronzer is being discontinued because you know, I have heard about 3 months ago it was, but then it's still available at limited release in the UK. So I'm using this one. What I will say, it's neutral to dark. It's quite dark on me, and it can get a bit muddy. It's not the easiest to blend, and the formula is quite old-fashioned. It's not one of the modern high silicone with oils that's easy to blend, because you can have oils within powders. This is a very old-fashioned powder, so I do feel it needs a reformulation. I've got from Kate Weiss, a blusher in Blossoming. Now, this range is no longer available. There are no blushes by Kate Weiss. I don't even know if as a brand if this is continuing, but I've made quite a big progress. What I will say, it's showing more stronger pink than it is. I think it's this component, the outer component is changing the colour. It's actually a peachy pink. I've got Gold Rush from Benefit, and can you see there's a big dent there, and that is a topper which I use with the Kate Weiss, and then I have this Rockateur which is in my project pan. So they're all the items that I have used. The ones that are staying in, I'll show you the ones that are staying in at the moment, that will be carried over, so at least you know. Just put these here. So all of these are going to be in my makeup box for the next month, because either the only ones that I use, because some items are start and finish, and also because they're in my project pans, most notably my main project pan. Now I've got here a little box here. Oh, and this is going to be staying in as well, my Tarte, and the there, and these items here, my complexion items. Right, so I've got a box in front of me. What am I bringing in? Now, I brought this in last time, but I didn't use it. So this is going to be in, and it's going to be my only powder once I've finished the Laura Geller imminently, and not Laura Geller, Laura Mercier, and I shall be starting on that one. I have used it once, and it was quite nice. I did enjoy using that. Other items I've got for palette, I've got this Dragon palette, which is going to be my main complexion palette. So I'm going to be using it. I'm going to try it way. I'm going to be using it for blush and bronzer. I may bring another bronzer in if I find that a bit too dark, but I can also blend it with, you know, with a topper there. So and I've got finishing powder, so I won't be focusing on the Hourglass finishing powder that's a single, but I will be focusing on that one, get some use out of that. For eyes, I'm going to be using my Naked 3, which is a pink tone. There it is. Oh, you can see me there. Oh, yeah, you've got me. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I've got another eyeshadow there, which is from Kat Von D. It is an old one. It's the Plum palette, which is no longer available, I don't think, and I think this will go well. This is more beigey pink. It's showing up more of a true pink because the camera colouring or saturation is coming a bit warmer toned, if you know what I mean. So they're the two main eyeshadows. I'm just randomly pulling stuff out. For foundation, I'm going to be trying to use some more of the CYO Longwear. This is no longer made, but I do love this in I think it's 101 or 110. And then I have the new Estee Lauder foundation. It was the latest colour that they added, 1C2 in Petal, and I add a little bit to darken this, although this is fine on its own. They're quite similar in formula, and they meld together absolutely wonderfully. I only need a dot of this in with the CYO, so I'm going to focus on those. I've also got I selected an eyebrow pencil. Now normally I go in order that I get them, but this is quite dry. I got this in February at a beauty outlet store, but it needs using up. I'm going to see if I can use it at all. If not, I'll have to select another, but this is Max Factor in Blonde. I have this primer I want to use up. I do quite like it. I didn't realise it was the pore filling. It's not something I would normally go for, but it is the Prime Time Original by Bare Minerals in a sample size. I've got from Chanel, this is it going to Chanel Rouge Cocoa Flash. So this is like a balm. It's not the balm, but it is like more like a balmy sort of lipstick, and this is in the shade Boy, which is a beige tone, but it is fairly sheer on the lips. I've never used that, so I'm going to have a go with that. For brows, I'm going to use the Anastasia, I think it's Brow Wiz, and it's the wax. So this is new. So that's going to start off. I don't know if it'll stay that clear because I will be, I put down the colour on my brow first because I've got very few brows and they are white. So I'm going to be using this spoolie. I've got an inner eyeliner in a pearly sheen there, which I'm going to use on the waterline. And then I'm going to bring in an additional eyeliner, and this is a new one to me. It's Almay, and it's in like a burgundy sort of shade there. But it's showing up a bit warmer than it is. Again, it's the tone of the camera, but I shall enjoy using that one, I'm sure. And then the final item is by Kiko. I think it's a final item because I have them in this little pot. And this is a lipstick that was a limited edition for Christmas 24. And it's in 02 Rose Allure. And there is the packaging. I don't think it's as nice as previous year's packaging, but this is it. And I'll put a bit, and it has glitter all the way through, and it's a rose. Now it's a bit more of a beige rose than it's showing on there, but quite beautiful. So I'm sure I'll enjoy using that one. So that is there on my makeup selection for the latter half of spring, and then towards the 21st of June, which is the official start of summer and the longest day of the year, I will swap these out for some more. So let me know your thoughts down below. Is there any that you have that you like? Any thoughts on the items? Maybe you've tried them yourselves. I'd like to know. Otherwise, can I say thank you very much for watching, as I do appreciate that your time is valuable. Hopefully I shall see you very soon. Otherwise, please take care of yourselves and bye for now.